as he holds my hand. And my father takes a snapshot for the sulk room in Akron, wind braiding the willow in the yard. This poem is called Vesper Lake. Also in Akron. Heard splashing then. A girl reared with affectionate knowledge, hightailing for El Pueblo de la Reina de los Angeles. At the edge of an encroaching summer day, the shadows in a boathouse holding back, they strip to bathing suits on a pier blasted gray and dive into a lush green wave of protein, with buyers falling over each other to pay cash for criminal taste, sufficient natural forage, and offense by the casual acquaintance who forgot to say goodbye, a shirt rack, bonds, where Pat Pace tries on hush puppy shoes and tells the clerk Tony Bennett is looking at some of his songs from a doorway into which he'd stepped to escape the immediate vicinity, a hand across his mouth, the relief coming after last winter's threat of icy reprisal. Tethered horses sweat beneath bamboo. A couple kisses, as if half carrying each other across a threshold of quick light on their brows, following an advantage for the rest of the weekend after her parents drive slowly off, faces out of her blanket at 40 below zero. She wanted to sleep with Seth Bullock, John Mann, Jerry Lewis, Johnny Bull, Billy Allen, Scott Davis, Tom Hardwick, Tom Mulqueen, Charlie Clifton, Boone May, Laughing Sam, Tom Dozier, Charlie Rich, Doc Pierce, Lou Schoenfield, Bill Hillman, Johnny Oyster, Jim Levy, Charlie Storms, and Colorado Charlie Utter. By the end of August, she's ready to leave. A contralto who's outgrown the chorus. Her new home twists and turns of a conversation she'd overheard when a crowd swung to miss the heads scattered along pavements still red with dew. Each choral a sanctuary, bought up and consolidated by the corporation answerable to one shareholder, his blue sharkskin silhouette, after he traded sidewalk and stars for the lobby of the Pierre, where everyone seems to know everyone else. The cocktails fly, and he has just intercepted a flute of champagne that thrusts him into public view no matter how he might wish the pleasure of peaceable obscurity to suit totally expected punishment, if that's what it is. This is the poem that will be published either by itself or with some others later on this year. It's called From Philip Drunk to Philip Sober. And it's in several parts, and I will interrupt to say a word or two about two of them. He dove toward cherry orchards along the coast, smoke rising from the romance of youth's calm, deliberate, kill or be killed policy to steer a prescribed course and miss all the beams in case the whole continent were lost in throwing up stars. The touch of a button came low over ocean waves, cream-colored, still firing in every direction, and he blazed again, padded on all sides by 8 inches of the softest material curving away with knobs 4 feet thick a long minute. Amazed as seconds leaped over the explosion and he started to black out, spinning earthward in the pale yellowish light of a vibrator, pulled and swerved and swung in a frenzy, closing fast, like a miracle, before he side-slipped out of danger. Always lucky, he thought, but he cannot always be lucky. Protected by electric nets, forming a triangle shot to pieces anyway, a rash of sky islands pinning his head to his hands. The closer they get, the higher the ratio of concentrated breath spraying from the sky, and he watched the interval, firing rapidly into a dark yellow glow, split suddenly down the center, all but gone into an oblong tube, sheared off and opening wider, wedged halfway through the careful blast of a shifting wave that hit him and swept him ashore as the city of embers went under, and he dug his face into sand. Moonhopping had been fun, the trip short and exciting, with new forms of life always just around the corner. Much of the work had been done during his boyhood, reaching further and yet further into distances that would not balance a graying boss. Anything that large wasn't round and filled with holes about 3 minutes away from a viewmaster slowing down even faster. Her bothered looks. Shall I throw the ship into free flow and drift after halftime? What is this curse on the dials? Everywhere we turn, she is right in front of us, bright for a heavenly body that discharges sparks, or what appear to be sparks, as fire burns the juice out of supper, a rounded picture of an electrical rope to get the devil out of here, the entire force spent through a nose as long as their cold fear, lights flashing on, a chill in the air, to fall rapidly beyond the range of our science, supplied with heaters and oxygen. And then they shake and sway until they become ill and the temperature returns to normal, like an electric shock out of the void. A flash of blue light bursting starlight about them, and one solid haymaker for saying, he's crazy, pounding each hole to a second, because you aren't here, and coming in fast, as she covers herself with an atom on the parapet, and says there won't be any liars until too late. The stranger saw the mallard first, picking its way along the path that led from the east fields to wavy blonde hair,